Biblical-themed quiz. Tell me, who is it? Do you really study the scriptures? Then it will be easy for you to reveal who is it. The next character, object, place, or being from the descriptions. He wore a staff. Characteristic of sheep herders and older people. He was of medium to short stature. Most of the descendants of the people of Israel were of medium stature. He was of beautiful appearance. A characteristic very mentioned in the sacred scriptures, specifically the descendants of Rachel, although they appear in other tribes. He had red hair. Remember that Esau had red hair, so these characteristics may have shown up in Jacob's descendants. He was beautiful-eyed. By now you should have the identity of the character. He had goat-like hair. You have 5 extra seconds to think. So you know who he is? The answer is David. Hint 1. Biblical basis. We find it in the first book of Samuel chapter 17 verse 40. Hint 2. Biblical reference. Found in the first book of Samuel chapter 17 verse 7. Hint 3. Biblical reference. We find it in the first book of Samuel chapter 16 verse 12. The second in the first book of Samuel chapter 16 verse 18, and the next in the first book of Samuel chapter 17 verse 42. Hint 4. Biblical reference. We find it in the first book of Samuel chapter 16 verse 12, and the second in the first book of Samuel chapter 17 verse 42. The word ruddy that appears in these verses comes from the original Hebrew admoni, which means reddish. Hint 5. Biblical reference. We find it in the first book of Samuel chapter 16 verse 12. Hint 6. Biblical reference. We find it in the first book of Samuel chapter 19 verse 13. The interesting thing is that, at that time, according to studies, only 2 possible types of goats were bred. The Kashmir goat and the Angora goat. And they did exist with reddish tones. Did you learn anything? Remember, study the scriptures, stay prepared, and see you next video.